Snark here, guys. Uh, it may be the World Cup, but it is December, which means, God damn, it's time to get your Christmas shopping done. Do I have a place for you? Store dot let's get ready network.com. Guys, get Let's Get Ready Network branded shirts. Get mugs. Well, I don't know if they have body bags, but they have sweaters like this. They have hoodies. Guys can get your favorite shows, the starting 11. Just saying. But there's playoff beards merch. There's other stuff. I'm sure there's other things on this network, guys. Guys, come on. You need something. You go from pajamas straight to a board meeting, perhaps a wedding. Let's Get Ready Network merch. It's kills now. It's killing three birds with one stone. It is the most impressive gift you can give this holiday season. I don't care. It's better than bagging a puppy and putting it under the tree. You never know. You forget to feed it. This doesn't even need to be fed. It's cheap in the long run, guys. In the long run, you don't have to clean up after it. You just have to throw it in the laundry. Now, starting 11, gracing the brand new channel. The highlights here from Let's Get Ready Network. Going live. World Cup coverage. Gosh, we have something to say.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special live edition of Starting 11 here on Let's Get Ready Network, the highlights. We're finally on the YouTube channel, Snark.
The highlights. This is a highlight. It's a highlight for me, being on the highlights. Finally. After all that work I done, get the highlights ready.
Yeah, all the work you did. All of it.
Yeah. Oh, there might be somebody else coming that had a little more to do with it, but come on. He's hiding away. Adelia, great to see you. Oh my gosh. It's been I thought, for the most part, World Cup coming down by the numbers as it should. And then surprises. There's a few surprises. A couple surprises. We'll talk about it with some people. Let's see. So this channel still has its new channel smell. You get that? Still has the plastic on it. It's nice. We get to tear it all off. We get to make a mess of this place. So how's it in, where are you now? Idaho?
Nebraska.
Is it? Yeah, it's in Nebraska. I didn't want to say for sure because I don't know which person you're going to. But, it's, it was 30 something below here this morning. And I'm still thinking World Cup in my head. Should we get right down to talking World Cup, or should we invite a couple people on to help us talk about it? Because there was a lot.
I think we should invite a couple of people on.
Oh, I was hoping you say we'd just do it ourselves.
No, we got a couple of people that's going to talk about the World Cup with us. We're here to recap the round of 16 and preview the quarterfinals, and who better to do it with than a couple of people who don't usually watch soccer.
That's true. Even though one should, I think it's if his government found out he didn't. Oh boy.
Well, to be fair, we do now have video evidence of this man in a Brazil shirt. He is the editor extraordinaire of this channel, who has put in so much work to get this channel up and ready to go for this moment here today, this live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, our favorite crazy Brazilian, Daney Carvalho.
128 episodes. I am tired.
I was gonna say that man is only 15 years old. Look how much he's aged just over the last couple months.
I age just doing this work. Like I didn't shave.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I returned from America with this.
He was clean shaven when he started this job.
Yeah.
Now look at him. He looks like a hobo.
Actually, more than 128 if you count like all the injuries, all the credit lines. I did like 100.
That was a lot.
Videos in like
something like that. Yeah.
So exhausting, but yes, I had to do my duties as a Brazilian citizen.
You dutied. Daney, this is a live show today, so maybe less editing for you. How about that? Don't even have to worry about it. You just have to do the
You'll
show.
do something wrong.
Oh
You have
boy.
to edit.
Oh, let's see what happens if I accidentally spill this drink on my computer.
Oh my god, your computer is new,
Oh my
by the way.
God.
I
Yeah,
helped
that's
you.
true. That's true.
I help you buy it.
Yeah, and it hasn't even crashed once, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, so it worked, right?
Danny, uh, have Brazilians taken notice that the World Cup is going on yet?
Oh yeah, like we can talk all the way about it, but I'm not alone, guys.
Yeah.
Let me introduce him. I will introduce
Okay.
him.
Danny
Oh,
is
boy.
This is my
taking
show
over
now.
the introducing duties.
I'm Brazilian,
I like it.
for the football show, the actual football, because the other game is not football. There is not a ball, and they don't use their feet, so it's not football.
That's very true.
So
Very rarely, anyway.
I want to introduce this guy. I mean, a lot of people has already seen him. He has his own YouTube channel. He has his own daily show, which is crazy. I can't do like even a weekly show with Snark. Imagine doing a daily show.
That's right.
But has been helping the channel for a long time now. And we had, unfortunately, Mr. Josh Cohen that do the hosting of the fantasy football roundup had to step down a little bit. Not from LGR. Josh is not gone. He's still be on the channel and stuff. In a minor capacity, has to do some personal stuff. So I was like, that void needs to be filled. And who better than this guy next year? So debuting for the first time live in a show in this network, Mr. Matt Munoz.
Yay.
Yo, wow, what an intro. Jeez. I hope I live
Yeah.
up to it.
Welcome home, Matt.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So you're first like official show, man, like as a crew member.
Couldn't be with any better people either. I'm happy.
Oh, go on.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, that
Right.
intro was a little long. Like, Matt was clean shaven when that intro started.
He did clean his beard like what a month ago, and like
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's unnatural. That is. It's like you're half a witch or something.
But
Is
no,
that,
he's not.
I
is that
just wanna
vampires that
say-
grow back?
I just want to say, I've always wanted to be a guest on.
Turning 11. Turning 11.
Oh.
Turning 11. Turning 11.
Sorry, 11. He was not expecting this. You're not expecting this, were you?
The starting 11 bit? No. Okay, let's talk, guys. Let's talk some goddamn football. Matt,
Yeah.
you and Adelia did a few watch-alongs, and it started using that Twitch channel again. Thank God, do something with it.
Yep.
Either it's growing dusty, or they're starting to smell. But knocked it off, got it back running, turned the cranks on it. It's going now. You watched the USA take on Netherlands live on Twitch. Maybe not the best game to start watching.
It's all right. I mean, I know the men's U.S. team isn't all that good compared to the rest of the world, so I wasn't expecting too much.
What did you think of them, Adelia? Like, I was talking to you guys through it, but I was living vicariously through you guys. I was watching the Twitch because I couldn't watch it at work, so I caught the highlights afterwards. No, I'm in an office. When I'm working, I have stuff to do. I can't just roam around.
Game in like all bars here like transmit
My
like games.
yeah, but my bar isn't in my office. Isn't in the bar. It's outside the bar.
But
And then,
you go
an
outside of
office.
your office and take a pic.
Nope.
What kind of
No.
bar is that?
Well, I could see it. Like, I could see little bits, but they were on the show. I
Like,
chose, and I thought I chose
Brazil,
wisely. I chose
all bars
wisely.
transmit soccer. All bars transmit Super Bowl when there's Super Bowl. Like nobody like understands anything, but they transmit Super Bowl. Like UFC fights. Like this is like a tradition here. And you're saying that in Canada you couldn't watch a game.
Oh no, they were all over the
No
place.
bar.
But I had work to do. They were on. Like, I could go out and I could see like a minute or so, but I'd have to get back to work. It's not like we didn't have it
I think
on.
you're lying. I don't think you were.
Hell, forget that, guys. I do have. I have a confession to make. I have never had a job, and I'm a hobo. I've been
I knew it.
yeah. This is just an old. This is just an old railway car that I spruced up a little bit.
It's like a trailer.
Yeah.
Do you live in trailer park, like in trailer
No,
park?
no.
Well,
I
you can't
just live.
afford that.
Yeah, no. What are you kidding me? What am I, a millionaire? No, I just, I found an old abandoned railway car over by the haunted house. So I just, every once in a while I hear scratching at the door and stuff like that, and I put out the fire real quick and I huddle, and well, mostly it's because I'm scared. But I cook some beans on an open flame. I like to pretend I'm camping. Good internet though. It's good internet.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
So, I think I spent my money wisely. Bought a computer instead of shelter and food.
That's right.
Well, that's kind of
Adelia knows what it's like.
Sure.
Ow.
Sure. I definitely
okay.
know.
So Netherlands showed that they can score. The USA
Yeah.
showed they have a long way to go. I think it looked like most of the North American style teams that got over the CONCACAF teams didn't look great. Mexico didn't look great, and then there's Canada, which was. I was hoping for better. I was hoping for something. I had a real good first half against a Belgian side that turns out was shit. It turns out that Belgian squad was terrible. R.I.P. to Eden Hazard, one of my favorite players of all time, who's now decided I'm never playing international football again.
Which is kind of weird because I think it was in the last World Cup that Belgium knocked out Brazil from I think the quarterfinals or semifinals.
Yeah, they made the semifinals last year.
Yeah.
And it looked to be their time. They had the players to do it. They were calling this their golden generation, and it turns out it was fool's gold. They didn't do good.
Someone
But
on
yeah,
this show picked Belgium to win the whole thing.
we don't have to listen. We're not bringing up the past here. We don't have to. We don't have to dig through anyone's
Didn't age well.
prediction history.
that
Not
didn't.
only that, yeah, nothing I pick really goes too well. And I said that I think before we started, it's like no matter what I pick, it's gonna go to shit because it hasn't really been good. Pick Neymar to win the Golden Boot. He plays one game and then they sit him out. I couldn't. My head almost exploded. It's like you gotta be kidding me.
I think this is Matt. This is the first World Cup that you watch.
Like more extensively, yeah.
Was the Twitch game that you guys did? Was that the first time you sat through an entire 90-minute game at once? Yeah, that's cool though.
Yep.
Because I would say that if this is your first experience, experiencing a World Cup, this, I would say, because I watch World Cups ever since I'm born.
Sure.
This is a very unusual World Cup. I would say even not only because of the timing, or yes, it's December, but also because the teams even though some of the favorites are still on the quarterfinals now, Argentina, Brazil, France, but Germany didn't play that much well. England is always doesn't play well. Where is Italy? Italy's was
never made it.
Never made it. Belgium.
Sweden never made it.
So this is a very I would say that this is the most weird World Cup as of recent memory. Which is kind of interesting because it makes it peculiar. It makes it unique.
Usually, it doesn't. A World Cup usually doesn't account for hundreds or thousands of deaths, but this one did that too. So it's breaking new ground everywhere. Yeah, our new Christmas tradition, guys. The World Cup of football.
Oh boy.
Well, there's been a lot of upsets, right? Too also.
There were some upsets. Getting through, and there's individual games that were upsets for sure.
Yeah.
But of the teams that qualified for the last 16, I don't know. I think it's not as much that the upset, of people who got through. I think it's more the upset of just the teams that should have that played so poorly. Germany being one. Who else
Denmark.
didn't make it through? Denmark just didn't look good at all.
Belgium.
And then, well, Belgium we've already talked about, and thanks for hitting me over the head with that once again. The red, they even called them. They started calling themselves the Red Devils too. It's like, ugh, oh my god! As soon as I found that out, I was like, oh, this isn't gonna go good for me. All I do is trash teams called the Red Devils. But yeah, say a team like Australia making it in was pretty surprising. The Moroccans making it into the 16 for the second time I think ever in their history. I think it's the first time since '86 they made it through.
I would say Morocco and Japan being group winners was very surprising.
And then you think of the individual games in Afghanistan, Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia was incredible, and that's basically was at the second day of the tournament. It was it set off a bunch of weird things. Japan beating Germany, Japan beating Spain. It was crazy. It was a crazy group round, but now we're in to the knockout rounds. Yeah. And USA first to get knocked out. They just didn't show that they had much finish. Pulisic, I'm sure, was playing hurt again. Pulisic never plays healthy, and it didn't look like they just had anybody else to step into those boots and stuff like that. Netherlands played fine. I don't trust the Netherlands going on from here. I thought they were okay, but that's about it. Like, who do they get next? Do they get Argentina next? Yeah, I don't like it. Well, let's talk about the Argentina. Oh my god. Oh, well, okay. I know that. I think Danny might have something against this next team we'll talk about. We'll talk about Argentina taking on Australia, and looked like it wasn't going to be any problem for them until the 75th minute, and then everything went a little loopy. But it turns out little messy. So it's a little bit of magic. The goal he scored, I think, was kind of soft. It wasn't a great goal, but just some of his runs you were seeing in the second half of what he can do with the ball at his feet is still, at his age, pretty remarkable. What did you think of Messi and Argentina's display, Adelia?
I thought they looked like Argentina I expected in this tournament. The Saudi Arabia's result is very surprising to me even more now based on how they've played against Mexico, Poland, and now Australia. All credit to the Aussies, though. They really gave it a go there at the end of that game. They got a goal back. We're only down one.
That last 15 minutes, that was a nail-biter.
15 minutes was really fun to watch as they tried to get an equalizer. Just couldn't manage to do it. I think one of their center backs was playing center forward for like the last 10 minutes of that game. It was crazy.
You have to go forward.
So
Argentina, they should be raising a toast to Martinez because he absolutely saves them there in that final minute with that huge save.
Martinez had a huge save there at the very end to keep it from being equalizer and going to extra time. And then God knows what would have happened if that had happened.
If it goes to kicks, we're going to talk about that. Who freaking knows? Because honestly, this may be the most pathetic penalty kicks I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
This whole tournament, it's been terrible. It's been terrible. Yeah. Terrible.
Look. Here's the thing.
Oh boy. He's going to talk about how good Argentina is and that he's so supportive and happy for them.
Look. This is what I'm going to say about the whole country, the whole nation.
Okay.
80 years ago, there was like a guy in Germany that like wanted to kill him. And,
oh boy.
I love it.
He had a lot of supporters. This guy had a lot of supporters. Like, it was crazy times, like depression in the US, like Europe all destroyed by the First War. So this guy decided to do a lot of, horrible shit in the world. And the nations, all nations in the world allied themselves together to stop him, and also the Japanese, they were also there, and the Italians too. Even though the Italians kind of started it all, like it's crazy that we only think about the Germans. Then we all own that war like crazy, right? But however, the supporters of that guy decided to flee because they're like being prosecuted for their crimes. So they decided to go somewhere, quote unquote, far away. Like, so they had the entire continent of America to flee. Guess what country they choose?
Argentina.
So I'm sorry. Root to Argentina? You guys really know Argentina history? You know, really the people that is over there? I know some Argentinians. Like, there are some good guys there, but I'm sorry. Brazil has a rivalry to Argentina for a reason. And like, who you guys are going to side with? With the country where those guys flew in? The word about us being canceled. Or are you going to root for Brazil? Come on, is that a tough choice?
If it was those guys playing, it wouldn't be a choice. But of course, that was 80 years ago. Also, well, if you want to talk about the history of people that left there and stuff like that, then a lot of people helped put
Brazil's
people
the
on
one
the
that has the
moon.
massive parties, right?
What?
Brazil's
the one who had a
parties.
Yes.
Madonna was in a movie about it. Madonna was in a movie about it.
So like, no, of course, I'm kidding. Not that our Argentinians are bad, but like Brazil and Argentina has this rivalry in soccer for like decades, for a reason. Like Maradona, Pelé.
It's like Canada, U.S. in hockey.
No. Canada is more made fun of. Like the thing of Argentina is like.
I'm not talking soccer. You can make fun of our soccer team. You can't make fun of our hockey team.
Like if you take into account all the countries of South America, like so everything below Central, like the black sheep is Brazil, like culture-wise, because we're calling for Portugal, not Spain. So like Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, Chile, Ecuador, Bolivia, they all have similarities within like the languages, quote unquote, the same. Of course, like there are region differences, but like you can it's easy to travel between those countries. Being Brazil, where things are like culturally very different. The thing of Argentina specifically, though, is that those guys. They always have an arrogance. They think they are Europeans. They're racist as well. A lot.
I do love
the whole idea of whitening the South America comes from them, not just from us. So like, it's very difficult for me to root for our hermanos down south because they don't have a good history. I'm sorry. Like, Brazil is not the best place in the world. I'm not saying this, but like, come on. We're the good guys here.
Guys, if you just joined us, welcome to our new network, LGR, the Social Studies class. Welcome back to Social Studies with Danny here on the LGR network. The highlights, guys.
I'm teaching history. Like, none of you had South America history. I'm teaching you guys.
Yeah, we can
oh my goodness. Yeah,
like getting some culture. Like, of course, when Matt comes to Brazil, he's going to see like the bodies and stuff. Like that's what. Yeah. But there's history to it, you know.
This is the kind of stuff that you should be talking about on LGR after Snark. Occasional weekends, only on the Patreon, LGR Patreon, guys. Now,
that being said, I believe the Netherlands can win against Argentina.
Ooh.
I don't think it's
hot take.
A favorite. Well, I can.
Yes, I think
like upsetting them.
I think you can say that about a lot, though. Like when you say, if it comes down to one game, anybody at this tournament, it has proven, can beat anybody except for Canada, who can't beat anybody.
By the way, like from we brought the bracket here, of Netherlands and Argentina. I think that's not a decided game. I think there are other games that we're going to have in this quarterfinals that are way more excited. Like, I think England versus France is basically decided, in my opinion. Like when you get to that, Brazil versus Croatia.
Adelia and I.
Not a guarantee. Okay. It's not a guarantee.
Danny's putting a question mark while we're putting an exclamation point, but that's fine. Adelia and I watched the France versus Poland game.
Yep.
All France.
Yeah.
All
It was
France.
all France.
Yeah.
That's where he scored his 10th goal in the series, right? That game.
Oh, for Giroud?
No,
Mbappe.
Oh, Mbappe. Yeah, he scored 9 and 10. And they were both pretty wonderful goals. But his first goal, how do you forget to mark Kylian Mbappe?
I was stunned that he was that wide open. How?
I remember when we're watching, and I'm going through it, and I'm trying to reason. I'm trying to reason with the back, and I'm like, it's like maybe he thought maybe it's like just smother or something like that, but he was so far out. Like, what was he? I have no idea. I have no clue, and nobody in the world would have been able to stop that second goal of his, the one that put it up 3-0.
No.
Like if Chesney would have put his hand up, and it would have caught his hand, it would have just knocked his hand clean off. The ball would have went in with the hand stuck to it.
Look,
No chance. No chance.
If I wasn't Brazilian,
Okay.
it's crazy, right? You can't imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
France would be my favorite. Like I think betting wise, like you would put your money on France. I don't think it's guaranteed though, but like they're coming off the win from the last World Cup, so like it's not that it's like a fluke. It's not like something like surprise. No, like they are being consistent with what they did 4 years ago. Like before I know it sounds like decades ago, but like 4 years ago, not that long time. Like
it seems like ages.
But
Because I had dark hair back then.
But like
I think.
they kept
I can't
consistent.
remember.
So like I think so funny now the Brazilian humor. I think so funny that this game called football was created by England, by British people. Like they didn't have anything else to do. Like they already like conquered like the US and much of slavery in Africa and India. Like go. History time with Danny later about this. However, how many wins they have? They created the game. They should have been the best ones playing the game. This freaking show is about the English Premier League. They won like the World Cup like one time in 1966.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when you consider there's 180 something countries and only 6 of them have won it.
England was the runner-up. Okay, granted, England was the runner-up in the 1990 and last year, last World Cup. Sorry, last World Cup. So, but I still think it's weird. I think it's very weird that France and England historically they have a rivalry too, but that's not an actual rivalry. Like they fought for like more than 100 years, guys. So, like
yeah,
they really have a rivalry. Like Brazil and everything, they never went to war and never went to war anyway. I don't think it would be very fun if England, of all people, takes out France. Do I think it's going to hype? It's going to happen? No. But wouldn't be that funny. That would be funny.
It could happen. We don't know what France's back line is like because they've never been tested. No one gets that far. It's just that their strikers are that good. Their midfield is that good. Oh yeah, their defenders are pretty good. But I don't trust their goaltender. I couldn't trust him as far as I'd like to throw him. I am not a fan of that man at all, or his club team, which is gross. But yeah, I think if you could get there, if you can get the chances on this guy, it'll happen. Now, England is young and they're fast, but they have to contend against some of the best players in the world. And their back line, you're looking at like Stones back there, for example, trying to take on Mbappe, and it's not going to happen. He's going to eat him for breakfast. So it's going to be, you're going to have to keep 5 back the entire time and just hope that you can counter. You have to hope to counter, but they've got the speed. They got young guys that can run.
Speed does count.
Raheem Sterling might be back for the game. He is coming back. He's flying back, I think, tomorrow from getting his house robbed while he was over there, for Christ's sakes, with his family in it, which isn't cool. But he'll be back. I'm not sure if he's going to play. What But we'll see.
I'm
I'd rather
happy
see
for you
him out
guys.
than Jordan Henderson.
Because I feel that I can't enjoy the World Cup because it's so ingrained in Brazilian culture. Like this is something that I told in the watch alongs. Me and Matt like talked a lot about this. Like during the World Cup, like Brazilians want any excuse to not work. So like we
You don't say.
have a saying that the year only begins in Brazil after the carnival, and the carnival is usually like beginning middle February. So like January is people don't work. Of course we work. Like we work out, but and the World Cup as well. But the World Cup is more real than like the carnival thing. Like it's very usual. This happened to me throughout my entire life, like from like when I was in preschool to college. Even though I was in college only during on the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. That there are no game like you don't go to school, or if you go to school, like the school like closes very early before the game. People close establishments very early before the game. Some people don't go to work at all during the game. Some companies have the tendency of even giving some employees like the entire World Cup like worth of vacations for people that don't work. So like that's very ingrained. Like my mother is an English teacher. She works at the school. Like a lot of times she can like come back like way early just for people to be able to watch at least the Brazilian World Cup, the World Game. That's how much it means to us. Like for a long ass time, we couldn't use the Brazilian like shirt, the world like the team shirt, like the yellow, the green.
Right. Yep.
Because it was made political. Like if you wear the shirt, you are supporting like a politician, which should not be named today.
Oh my
But like
God.
this is the first time like in 4 years that we can now wear that shirt and like be proud of the Brazilians and root and have fun and drink and party too.
Is it your summer vacation for like kids out there? Or when do you guys have summer vacation?
Technically for kids, yeah, I think it's some vacation for kids that went good in school. Yes, normally like early December is for the kids that like need to do the finals to try to pass, like people that fail during the year. But yeah, it's usually already school vacation. Yes.
Okay, so we know that England's through and they're playing France. Do you have any thoughts on how the Senegalese played, Adelia? I liked them. I thought they were entertaining. It's a shame to watch what's happening to Edouard Mendy.
Mendy was a mess.
He was,
in this
yeah.
tournament in this game against England, and like just
This has
a
been
mess.
his form all season. If this World Cup would have happened last year, things may have been different with Senegal. They may have gone through, but because he was maybe the top goalkeeper in the world last year, not this year.
It's pretty remarkable how much his form has fallen off.
Terrible.
From last season to this season. I thought Senegal was a fun team to watch. I thought they did really well without having Mane at this tournament.
Yes.
And,
huge loss. Like a guy you depend on to score 90% of your goals or something like that. Yeah, huge loss for him.
I thought Senegal did good to get as far as they did, but I wasn't surprised to see them lose to England. And
no.
I agree that I think France is probably going to beat England, but I think it would be funny to see England beat France.
Yeah, because this is actually a question, like even for like Matt, because like let's face it, none of your guys' countries has made it.
Yeah.
How dare you?
That does give you like some sort of perspective, like watching the World Cup, like because normally for me, when it's not Brazil playing, I tend to root for the little guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh sure, the underdog.
Yeah,
the underdog. Like I always root for an upset, for something to be different, not to be like, France won. Like, do you guys feel like this? Like,
oh yeah,
let's root for Morocco because like Morocco is not like it's not a favorite. Like,
yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
Give him a chance.
Yep. Speaking of, I don't know if this what you would consider the underdog. I guess you would have considered Japan the underdog, considering how well Croatia did last year. but put up a hell of a fight.
Last tournament, it was not last year.
I always say last year. I don't know. The last World Cup, guys. It just seems like a year ago. It seems like a 4.5-year-old year.
4 score and 7 years ago. It feels like.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. It's one of those newfangled 54-month years that everybody feels. Japan, I thought, they played really well and really good. Well, the first 30 minutes or so, Croatia had a lot of the ball, but those last 8-9 minutes, Japan really took it to them. Got their goal, got a few more chances, but coming in off the break, what a play to get that goal from the Croatians there. That long ass searching goddamn cross in there, and a friggin' wicked header to get them back to level. And Croatia seemed to really push the narrative there for the rest of the game, but Japan was holding on. They had a whole bunch of good chances too. I thought both goalkeepers played really well. And then it gets, to our first penalty kicks of this World Cup, and
the Japanese kicks were atrocious.
Embarrassing to watch. That was embarrassing. That looked like little kids practicing. It's the same every time. We're going to go bottom corner this way or bottom corner that way. We're going to take a slow run up. We're not going to try and make the goaltender move. It's awful. It was awful. I was like, what are you guys doing? Nobody decided to raise the ball. It's just they're so afraid of missing the net that decide, okay, I don't have to give it any power or aim. I'm just making sure that it's going to go one way or another. Let's look directly where I'm going to put this. I know it's going to fool this ref, this goalkeeper, one of the a premier goalkeeper in the world. I'm just going to look right at it. I'm going to shoot, and I'm going to do it very slowly, so he has time to get over there. No problem.
Yeah.
Pretty smart. That's pretty smart thinking.
Because I'm Brazilian, I had to play
you're Brazilian? Wait a minute. You're Brazilian?
As a kid, my parents put me to play soccer. And actually, I wasn't that bad. Like, after I grew up with that, I was, terrible. I'm afraid of balls. But there is one thing. That is the easiest part. It's football, it's you, the ball, and the goalkeeper, and the goal. This is the essence of soccer. It's something that everybody should know how to do it. It's not that hard. It's really, really not that hard. If I can do it, surely. So losing to penalty kicks and that, because I saw the ending of that game. It was the same day of Brazil, actually, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
How Japan managed to upset Spain, to upset Germany. How can you lose in the most in basics? The basic of the basic of the basic of the basic of basic. You can only get more basics just kicking a ball. That's it. The next step is a penalty kick.
Matt, I'm gonna suggest that because you've only watched the one soccer match, that you have not played much soccer. But I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want to get a truthful answer.
Okay.
Do you think you could have kicked the ball harder than those professional athletes did? Because I'm going to say this right now. Yes, you can.
First, I'll say I played soccer for 11 years.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
But you only watched one game?
I played left fullback.
Watch it.
No, I'm a good left fullback. I can slide tackle the hell out of anybody.
Attaboy.
And I hit the ball, man. It's legal.
Legal?
They called me the Terminator one year because I would take fools out. Yeah.
But you never watched it? You just like playing it? You weren't a big watcher?
Yeah. That's how I am with sports. I'd way rather play than watch.
Okay, so yes, then 100% you could have hit the ball harder than any other
leg. With my left leg, I could have hit it harder.
What did you think? What do you think of this weird run up that everybody is doing now? They're trying to get keepers to move and stuff like that. They're going so slow and I think as soon as, and as soon as they start moving, so should the goaltender should be able to get off his line. Enough of this stuff. Like if they're gonna go and do this stupid running up and stuff like that, the goalkeeper shouldn't have to wait for the kick. It's like this guy's they're making a mockery of this thing, and of course it's Jorginho that started this. Sure, like, and do I, will I give him shit about it? It's like no, he invented it. He may play for Chelsea, and so I give him a break, but it's. Everybody's emulating it now, and it's the only rhythm it's throwing off is their own. Yeah. I just don't understand why they're doing this.
Yeah, I thought the dude had a cramp or something at first. I was like, "What the hell was that?"
It was everyone, and those last. Oh my god, we're gonna talk about the Spain one when we get to it. But yeah, that which was even worse. But yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking they kick off Modric. Like in before extra time and stuff like that. It's like, what if they go to kicks?
Yeah.
Say, they don't need it because they must have seen some tape on the Japanese. It's like, God, these guys can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked friggin' terrible. It looked like the kicking and screaming kids. 100%. It was awful. Danny. Yes. Okay. Did you watch the Brazil game?
Yes, we actually did. I was looking forward to that game because the first one that we did was against Cameroon, and left everybody's like a bad taste in the mouth. Granted, it was the backup team. Granted, the game wasn't going to matter anyway. And granted, for the Brazilian side now, I'm going to be the lawyer here.
Sure.
Now let's get a little bit without jokes. Let's get a little bit more real. Brazil is a very poor country. It's very similar to the US, but you can see the poverty a little bit more than the US. The US is a little bit more under the rug. For a lot of poor boys and girls, black, that struggle in life, that have families that struggle, they live in favelas. They look into those players. They see basically kids around their early 20s, sometimes even 18, 19 years old, getting so much fame, so much money, and given to their families in such an early age by playing football.
It's a way out.
This means something for the whole youth of Brazil. We even have favela tournaments here to show the population games, because that's how much football means to Brazil worldwide, but especially for the lower classes. I'm a middle class guy, and it also means a lot for the middle class. If you go watch the history of the Brazilian team, in São Paulo, Corinthians was a team that helped a lot, people coming from the Arabia sides, the Middle East, to help those families of refugees that came here. So football across all classes, all social classes, means a lot to Brazil.
Yeah,
but especially for the poor people even more, because it's not said, it's a way out. That being said, Brazil hasn't played greatly the way that we want ever since 2002, in my opinion.
Right.
Granted, players back in 2002, all of them were in their prime, I would say. I don't even remember how many of them actually played on the next one in 2006. I think most of them retired after that win.
Right. I'm trying to think. Was Ronaldinho? Was that his last one? Was 2002? I think.
Ronaldinho's last one. I think it was Kaká's last one. I think it was Ronaldo, phenomenal.
Right. Yep.
A lot of them last. So that World Cup, I'm talking something 20 years ago. It doesn't seem as much in World Cups, but in terms of years, a lot. Meant a lot. And ever since, I think football is also a sport of feeling, because technically anything can happen in a football game. It's a very basic game. It doesn't change too much.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of feeling of emotional, of how is the players mind on the game, in that certain point in time. And I think we always had a feeling that Brazil didn't live up to these standards that we set on ourselves. Like, we are a poor country from South America that won 5 World Cups, and almost 100 years later, nobody has ever got close to us.
Yeah.
Granted, Germany is a little bit close, and Italy as well. But, like, still don't have to win one more to be tied with us, and they still have to win one more to upset, like, dethrone us. So we set a standard. We pressure ourselves to have nothing better than excellency. With that being said, I don't think that Brazil right now is at the same excellency standards that we had in 2002 and other World Cups that we won, like, in past history. I don't think we're still in that level. I think, unfortunately, Brazil in the last 20 years relied too much on their strikers like Neymar. And I don't think that's how you win a World Cup. Like, the whole team has to be on their A game all the time. And I don't think that the feeling of the team is like this. However, first of all, the coach Tite, like, he came from Corinthians, if I'm not mistaken, which is the hugest São Paulo team, and there's already dispute which is the biggest team in Brazil. Like, if it is Corinthians or Flamengo, and he has always been known as a guy that likes to coach his team to play defensively, and this is something that Brazil lacked of in the last few World Cups. We were always good at offense. We're always good to go there, make a goal, and then make another goal, and make another goal. But it's our time, like, to take the pressure. We failed, and there is a particular game which everybody like to remember as when this was shown, and I think he came on to correct that. So that game that we don't talk about never happened. So I think we'll wait to the mindset of the coach. A little bit less of the players, but of the coach. I think he played correct. If you'll see, I think the 3 group games, Brazil played very conservatively. He decided to use all the bench thing on the Cameroon game. Yes, we had a go at overtime, like in the second half. Well, like, that meant something for Cameroon, but not for us.
Right.
But that made us sign, okay, we can't fuck it up. And I think we showed that against South Korea. Like, come on, Brazil was 3-0 with less than 12 minutes in.
Yeah. That was a slaughter.
I'm going to say that might be one of the weakest penalties I have ever witnessed. Was that call on Richarlison, the one where Neymar took the penalty, was an incredibly weak call. It's like, guys, Brazil doesn't need the help. You don't need to help them out. That was a little outrageous, but good for Neymar. How about this? Neymar needs 2 goals to take over from Pele as the national team's all-time scorer.
Wow, really?
2 goals. He's at 76. Pele got 77.
Which for me, I don't like it.
No.
Because here's one thing. Pele is also not like, one thing is Pele, another thing is the actual guy. One thing is the player, and one thing is the.
Sure.
I also said and did a lot of shit stuff. Okay, and Neymar is no different. Like, I think Neymar is an arrogant kid. That, like, he was a guy that had the chance, and he's still a kid. Like, Neymar is what, like 30 now, 30 something.
He's in his
30s.
30s.
Still acts like
30.
a kid.
Yeah.
He still acts like a kid. His fucking dad, like, had always supported the government to evade, like, tax fraud, like, litigations. Like, the Neymar family is not a good symbol for Brazil. So I don't like that. However, look, this game means something less. The last particular game means something, like the tribute to Pelé by the end of the game. I think you also that with them holding, like, because Pelé is suffering, like, some cancer stuff right now. Like, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think that was beautiful. Like, for us, like, Brazil has, in the last decade, Brazil has done has been so much crap.
Right.
Like, even though I don't think we are in that standard, I still think we have a chance to win this World Cup. And this win means something. Like, it's something that, like, Brazil as a country needs hope, and our hope is always soccer. It's always football.
Yeah.
So it's like the US can lose, and people are like, oh man, be bummed. Like, if Brazil loses, like, the fucking entire country, which is very big, was like in grief for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, the stakes are high. It's higher than I think other people are like can conceive, because it's so embedded to our country.
I'm trying to imagine what it would be like up here, and I was trying to think of, like, I don't even think like the Olympics, like Canada winning Olympic hockey. You know, the hockey, like Canada's identity is hockey, but they only started using the pros in 90. What was it? 98. 98 in Nagano, Japan. So it's not like it was ingrained in us that the best on the best. We never had that before. It was always we just send up a bunch of junior guys and see what happens. We play the Soviet pros and get their asses beat in half or whatever. So it wasn't like that was never a big deal. So I don't think like we here in Canada, as much as we love hockey, have anything that would go into something like that. It wouldn't be like if we lost the Olympics, like we would not go into national mourning. That's for goddamn sure. You know, maybe in Southern Ontario it would, because, you know, what else are they going to do? They don't got the Leafs can't win, so Canada better. That's the only thing they can do. Yeah, I couldn't imagine so much writing on the knockout game. It isn't even like playoffs; it's a knockout game.
Yeah, like, here's the thing: like, we got one goal for South Korea. Like, the game was won, like, even before first half was done. But, like, this is how much it means to us. Like, if there, I think you guys saw that in the watch along. If the other teams are in our field, in our side of the field, like, I get angry because they shouldn't be there. Brazil should always be playing 100%, like, never letting they get even close to the goal, always making goals. Like, if you're not doing this for a Brazilian, like, you're playing poorly. And this is not the same for other teams. Like, not even France, that's playing very well, like, has this kind of pressure that these dudes have.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, when you lose, like, a World Cup, like, Brazil, like, when it loses, like, we are bad losers too. Like, we cuss at everyone and want them to die.
I like it.
Sounds like Snark.
Maybe I'll search it. I do that if I don't get my breakfast on time. Okay. So yeah, yeah, I thought yeah, they just, I think, really did toy with the Koreans. Koreans way overmatched. I thought they, you know, it's another good story just for Korea to be there, but yeah, it was what it was.
And
Let's talk
about the
about
Portuguese guy that is the coach from South Korea.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's true. Okay, let's talk about maybe, I guess, which is the shocker of the
round of 16.
The round of 16 here, Morocco and Spain. First thing I want to say. Why does Spain wear blue? Second thing I want to say.
Yeah, that's
why was Morocco wearing the Portuguese hand-me-downs? I thought I turned into the wrong game. I thought they had it wrong. I thought this is, oh, okay, this is the Portuguese game instead. It's like, nope, that's Morocco. I was like, what?
It's like, because Morocco is like red.
Don't I recognize those?
Yellow star, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got the red and they were the red and the green or whatever. So it's like, well, whatever. Because the Portuguese of that weird kind of slash thing now on their shirt. Ugh,
that
whatever.
reminds me of a nightmare. Like, when I was 7 years old, like, I'm going to tell a story that you guys are going to know. When I was 7 years old, I was at school, and every single kid has a homework. They're going to pick one country for you, and you have to draw the fucking drawing. I wanted Japan. I just needed to do a red circle. I got freaking Portugal's flag.
Oh.
And a
Oh,
7
man.
years old. Imagine a 7 years old trying to draw the goddamn symbol in the middle.
I'd have a hard enough time with the circle.
So yeah, I hated the Portuguese flag, but I'm glad for the Moroccans. Oh, wait, to Morocco. Morocco's a great country. You guys should visit Morocco, not for 15 days like me, just three.
I'd love to go to Morocco. You can go to Portugal and just take the boat over. I think it takes about 45 minutes by boat. Get over to Morocco.
What if you swam it? How long then?
You could do it. You'd have to be a hell of a swimmer. I'm pretty sure.
Which I am.
You just put those water wings on. Just put the water wings on and doggy paddle. You'll be fine. Yeah. Here's the deal with Morocco. They're pretty good. They haven't allowed the other team to score on them yet. This World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said
the only goal against them was the own goal.
An own goal against Canada. Canada's second ever World Cup goal. They didn't even goddamn score. Yeah. Morocco. Not only did they not score there, like it goes to the kicks, and we see it again. We see that shit again. The 15-step, like it looks like. Have you guys ever watched the Flintstones? Have you ever seen Fred Flintstone throw a bowling ball? Yeah. They call him Twinkle Toes Flintstone because he stands up on his feet and he goes, and then he starts going. And that's what these guys are doing. And then a slow walk up. And that last guy, he basically took like 3 long steps, looked at the corner, just pushed it. He didn't even kick it. He pushed it.
It was terrible. And the funniest thing about the penalty kicks for Spain for me
that was their captain.
Throughout the entire broadcast, the American commentators kept talking about how Luis Enrique said he wanted each one of the players on his team to take 1,000 penalties throughout the year, so they were ready for a moment like this. And then those were the goddamn kicks.
1,000. It's like what was it? Kill Bill. Like she's in that coffin or whatever. 1, 2. She just practices those little punches or whatever. And she can eventually bust out of a coffin. I bet you there was about 1,000 of those. So these guys should be as good as the bride in Kill Bill just by kicking the ball 1,000 times for penalties. These guys go up there and they look like 8-year-olds.
They were terrible. The penalty kicks were atrocious. I was shocked that the penalty kicks were that bad, especially after we just seen such timid ones from Japan. I was like, okay, surely there can't be a repeat of this, and then it was. And all credit to Morocco. All credit to Morocco. Yeah. But Spain should have scored penalties in that penalty shootout. They were just way too timid.
They had chances as well in the run of play, especially in the extra time. I think one just grazed the post that was near the death and stuff like that. They had their chances, but when it came down to it, when the weight of the world is on them and they have to provide goals for their country, they choked, and it was awful. It was awful to look at. Might be one of the most embarrassing moments in World Cup history was Spain kicking.
Do you know how many games Spain has won in the World Cup since they won in 2010?
12.
Well, they won just the one this time, right? They won 7-0. I'll say 1.
They won 3.
Oh, okay. I was lowballing it.
3 games in 3 World Cups.
Wow.
Well, we were talking about France before, and I guess France is the only repeat or the last champions to make it into the this round of 16 even since 2014. So it's strange, very strange. But yeah. And how does Garcia still have a job? Like everyone's getting rid of their coach Martinez. Like everyone's getting rid of their coaches now that they've had a shit World Cup. But how do you let him continue? How do you let him continue? Especially after how do you let it slip? Why would you ever say these guys are each doing 1,000 kicks? And that's what you're gonna see. It's like, were you watching them do it, or did they just say you just call them at home or something? Hey, you guys doing those 1,000 kicks? It's like, oh sure. They're smoking a cigarette,
784.
having some tapas, by the pool, getting some olives and some bread and oil. Yeah, I'm kicking them. What do you want from me? That's it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did Murata even kick? I don't think Murata kicked. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So that wasn't what yeah. That's when that's the one I didn't pick as my I was gonna pick an upset in our brackets that we did over at the LGR Patreon.
Yep.
I picked Switzerland to beat Portugal.
Wow.
As the one upset. Didn't go good. It didn't go good. To say that Brazil looked real good in theirs. Portugal looked good. I wasn't going to say they look as good as Brazil. They didn't. But Switzerland.
Cristiano Ronaldo, and it worked.
Well, the guy that took his place, Ramos. Oh my God, a hat trick for him. His first time ever starting for the national team, and he took advantage. And the kid's going to become a star. Just off of that performance alone. What's his name? Also, the goddamn guy who's like 40 years old. Pepe scores a goal. Yeah. They look. Yeah, that first half of theirs pretty. It was impressive. It was an impressive win. And now
I couldn't watch that game, not only because I was doing the freaking transition, but my TV broke.
What? What'd you do to it?
My TV is 10 years old. It's not the first time she showed like problems, but like we delivered her the TV to the place where we usually got it fixed last time, but it was like 1,200 Brazilian K to do the repair. Like so I'm buying a new TV, man. We can talk about that later.
That seems to be going around this channel. It's going around this channel quite a bit.
But we have like I put a 22 inches tiny TV for my mom because she likes TVs. The soap opera.
Good boy. Good boy.
I saw like Portugal but when I was like in the repair store, I saw like Portugal playing, and I was like, what the hell is happening here? Because like when we played against Switzerland, like I said, like it teaches like a strategy. You might not agree with him, but like he chose to play more conservative the group matches. Even like the whole Cameroon match was like backup too.
Ooh.
Portugal didn't play conservative at all.
No.
Switzerland.
They decided to let him have it. Even then Ronaldo comes on in the last 15 minutes or whatever, he gets the token appearance or whatever. He had a couple of good chances, even 15 feet offside, I think, at least once. But he still knows how to finish. Like he's a guy, like he's gonna go to Saudi Arabia or whatever it is. They're gonna give him an insane amount of money. They're gonna give him $200 million or something like that to go play over there. He really only has to play 20 minutes a match, just score 2-3 goals, and everybody goes home happy over there, which is fine.
Do you guys think that
get him out of the fucking Premier League? That's all I care.
Like Switzerland tried to do everything like on the group match, especially like against Brazil and Serbia, to like guarantee a spot. And by the time they had to do this game, they were just like, okay, we were at our limit. We can do it.
I think Portuguese was a much better side. I think they were disappointed in their group stage. And I think they wanted to take it out on somebody, and they took it out on the Swiss.
More like Brazil after Cameroon game.
I think you might be right. I think this Ramos kid had something to prove, and he proved it. No, they're just good. Portugal's a good team. This is the first time in a while that I've seen the Portuguese national team look like they could compete, and they sure did. They looked really good. And what it does is it sets up a pretty remarkable matchup against Morocco. We got a team that looks like they can score all the goals in the world now against a team that doesn't let any goals in. Not only that, they're, like I said, separated by 45 minutes worth of water. So it's almost like it's a border war between two different continents. We got Africa going against Europe here. I think it's one of the more fascinating matchups of the Elite Eight. Let's go around here, Matt.
What?
Let's talk. Let's get that. Can we get that screen back up? We're gonna ask you a couple questions here.
All right.
Netherlands, Argentina. Do you see a way, like Danny does, that Netherlands gets through?
I hate to disagree with Danny, but
Wow, man.
All right. Okay, so you're in for Argentina.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Matt. Adelia, who you got?
I think Argentina will likely win that game, but I could see Netherlands pulling off an upset if Argentina gets frustrated and has another game like they had against Saudi Arabia. Like, we know that's in Argentina now, so I could see that happening. But I do think Argentina in the end will win that game.
Okay, Danny's gonna go for the Netherlands because he likes.
I put Argentina.
He likes
Full disclosure. Full
Yeah.
disclosure. I put Argentina in my bracket, but I'm going to be 100% rooting for Netherlands. That's for sure.
I'm putting you down as Netherlands. And I'm gonna.
I love this. I love this comment by SG.
Nothing has changed in hundreds of years.
Oh boy! Hey, you missed our social studies hour there earlier, Andrew. I'm going to go for Argentina. Now, Croatia, Brazil. Let's leave Danny to last because I want to be surprised by what he guesses. Matt, who do you got? Croatia or Brazil?
Now I'm on Danny's side. We're going Brazil, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adelia?
Brazil.
Well, that's surprising. All right. Now, Croatia. I'm just kidding. How could I possibly? Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy to go Brazil.
I think when Brazil thinks the game's guaranteed, we play bad. We're not going to take Croatia lightly. I think all the games. I think this game, the game against the Netherlands and Argentina, and probably the game against Spain, because I believe that France is going to the finals. All of them has to be played in there 110%.
Oh, yeah.
An upset of Croatia is possible. Okay, I'm not saying not guarantee victory. I don't believe in guaranteed victory in football.
Yeah. I mean, look at this stat she comes up with in the chat. I saw Croatia have won 3 of their last 5 World Cup knockout games on penalties. The final against France was the only match that didn't go to extra time. This is all I know about the World Cup. Thank you,
he keeps that knowledge in his pocket just for when he needs it, like right now. That's why Andrew is an all-star.
Look, I'm being serious. I hope that Brazil's playing the teeth and the freaking whole country don't think this game's a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. We can be upset. We have to be with the mentality that we fuck it up. There's going to be an upset and people are going to make fun of us for 4 years. And we can't let them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as much cultural as it is sport in Brazil. Now, another couple of countries known for getting at each other's throats. England, France. It's got to be France, right?
It's got to be France.
I'm going France.
I would laugh if England were to win.
How would you laugh?
I think very, very much so. I'm not doing it right now. My throat hurts too bad to laugh, actually. But I would laugh if England beats France. But I just think it's going to be France.
Yeah. Danny, who do you think?
For me, the same thing as the Netherlands and Argentina game. I put France in my bracket. I think they're more likely to win the game. However, I'll be rooting for England. I think the irony would be very great.
There's going to be an upset. One of these games, there's going to be an upset. Do I think England has what it takes to beat France? I actually do think they have what it takes to beat France. Except they have Jordan Pickford in net. And I don't trust him. Gosh. No, I have to say France. Just watching the speed which way they go with. Oh my gosh. I think England I think England just on their back end can't compete, so I'm going to go with France as well. Now that leaves us with the last match, Elite Eight. We got Morocco, we got Portugal, we got questions about it. Let's start with Adelia. What do you think?
I had Spain beating Portugal in my bracket, and I just don't know if I can keep with that with Morocco. Portugal scored very easily against Switzerland, and the Swiss are a tough team, so I think I'm going to have to go with Portugal.
Danny, what do you think?
I don't like rooting for the Portuguese that much. But as of right now, I'm still very impressed by the last game. So I think I also put like Spain beating Morocco and then Spain beating Portugal. But no, I think Portugal can win this. It would be very interesting to see Portugal versus France or England.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
I imagine a Brazil versus Portugal finals.
That would be good.
Colony versus colonizer.
Yep.
Revenge after all this year.
After
Matt,
all these years.
what do you think?
I don't know too much about these teams at all, but I like that band, Portugal the Man.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going Portugal.
That's how this is usually settled.
Right?
Now,
Dance off?
I am the dumb asshole that picked Switzerland to beat Portugal. I'm going to be a dumb asshole again, and I'm going to go a little different, and I'm going to say Morocco shuts down Portugal and moves on to the semifinals because I'm mostly dumb. And also because
Portuguese and they're not very smart. That's very, very true. They had the biggest empire.
The Portuguese.
Portugal has the biggest empire in the world. They lost everything to the British. Everything, like everything. And Napoleon, of course, like then Napoleon also came. But yeah, like
mostly British.
It would be very, very symbolic. I know Ferris would say technicalities like it's an African country, but it would be very interesting to see an Arab nation, I say not country.
That's an Arab nation.
Getting so far into the World Cup in Qatar of all places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It creates good headlines, I think, in a World Cup that hasn't had many. Now, okay, so we got everything set up. I'm not sure what's happening with the with what we're going to be doing with starting 11 as far as shows going ahead. Hopefully, we're going to get a chance to do another watch along, but that hasn't been confirmed yet.
I mean, I'm down for it.
I believe
Brazil
we are doing one on Friday for Brazil versus Croatia with Danny.
Yeah.
At 7 a.m. Pacific is when that game is.
So it's the first game of the quarterfinals, right?
It's the first game of the quarterfinals, Brazil-Croatia. And then other game on Friday is Netherlands-Argentina. And then I'd be down...
Do a back-to-back watch-along if you guys want.
Yeah, we could do that. And then I'd be down to do watch-alongs for the two games on Saturday, too.
Yeah, me too.
So...
Well, I wish I could join you guys, but unfortunately, Friday is not a good day, and I have to work Saturday. So, but we have, like, it's weird. Like,
I think it's be available in the finals. The finals is on Sunday.
The finals is December 18th at 7 a.m. Pacific.
Sunday.
Yeah, now I'll be able to do the finals. We should be able to do that, no problem. And then we actually might have a little bit of a break after that, a couple of days anyways, Adelia, before the English Premier League starts back up. And we're going to have plenty of coverage of that, of course, again, going forward. We've got our secret left back here, Matt Munoz. Matt.
Yep.
Where can everybody find you, buddy?
You can find me. I got my own YouTube channel. It's generic name, Matt Munoz, like you see on the screen. But I got my show, Talking Smack with Matt. You just search that up. You should probably find me that way. Or you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Matt Munoz177. Hit me up.
And also found you now in LGR too.
Yeah, and right here.
Yeah.
I wanted to say one
Put
thing
it on
real
the T
quick.
for you.
I really appreciate you guys allowing me on the team. And if you guys want to look as good as Adelia and Snark right now, you should go get some
What?
merch. You know what I mean? Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
I'm also wearing a LGR merch, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Danny.
okay,
Wow.
dude.
Now I really got to get mine. Shit.
Yeah.
Because finally, after almost 3 years, somebody decided to give me a merch. They're not going to ship to Brazil. I had to go to the US to get it. Like,
That's right. I was gonna say, is that bootleg? Is that a bootleg sweater?
No, that is an
the
official
hoodie
sweater.
zipper.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Very good. Danny, every episode, every sports related episode, now up on the channel. What the hell are you gonna do with all your time going forward?
I even take a break, at least for I took a break today and tomorrow. But by Friday, we still have more work to do. We're trying to do everything like a little bit before like Christmas, like the holidays, like going to be busy with the love of my life here in Brazil. Seeing how is a Christmas in Brazil is very different from the US. Like it's freaking hot. So no is no. Begins with that. So I'm trying to do all the work like ahead. So no just emergencies if needed for the channel. But yeah, I'm very, very proud and very, very happy with this transition over. Like be able to do a live show here and you can go back and watch everything in chronological order with their best version. Like when you guys started this show, everything was orange, everything was generic, like, and now everything's green, you know, looks like good. Like every single show now it has its own identity. This is something that I always fought for, not only because of my work, because I believed like that we have to market our shows very distinct, very unique. So people just like look at Terminator for like half a second and they know, okay, that's Starting 11, that's Leaf Pierce, that's Good Friends of Rise. So no more just orange stuff. Like let's have more colors.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work, 28 days basically. Ever since I got back from the US to today, I didn't stop working. TV broke. My mom bought a couch. Like a lot of stuff happened in between. My beard grew. But now it's over. It's finally over. This is the very first live streaming this channel. Like we just debuted. This channel is not a virgin anymore.
Oh my gosh!
And I don't know, like, when you guys going to do with the scheduling of these episodes, but now you don't need to worry about like waiting and stuff. Like now people can see your faces. Before it was just like Patreon only and the audio feed.
Yeah,
Like,
those
this
guys
is
were
the first-
pretty lucky. They were pretty lucky.
So like technically you can find me at LGR After Snark, where we it's an after show after show that doesn't exist. Snark knows how to promote better than I. Unfortunately, due to this transition, doing to stuff that happened with Snark, so recently we couldn't do a show. Like we just did one show after I came back in the very beginning, like in the middle of November. But they have plans. Like you need to talk to Greg. I wanted to have a show with Greg, so probably this weekend. Like let's talk.
I like that.
Try to do it this week now that I'm more available. I'll be more rested by then because right now I'm exhausted.
Yeah, LGR After Snark doesn't count as work. I can tell you that, unless you're allowed to drink at work.
You can find LGR After Snark on our Patreon, patreon.com/LGR_network. Join $1 a month gets you into the Discord where you can hang out. Matt and I are in voice chat almost all the time.
Yeah,
that's true.
And you can come hang out, talk with us about anything and everything you want, because we do talk about pretty much everything in there. So join us.
It's like the flagship show of the Patreon now that everything else is up beyond the paywall. It's like the only show I think that's actually back there. It's the only one that, you don't want to put onto the public domain. That's for damn sure. That's for goddamn
sure. And that's
sure.
what makes it attractive. What the hell do we talk about so much that we have to hide it from the public? Right. There's only one way to find out. Subscribe to the Patreon. Like $1 level. And you have access to all LGR After Snark episodes. All of them.
We talk about South American social studies for the most
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh my goodness! Come on.
It worked.
RoboCop. Guys, thanks so much. first show. Yep, but
First live show.
all we're doing on this network is busting cherries now. Look at us go. It was a real pleasure. Good luck to the teams remaining. I'm sure we can show up on our shorts. We'll try and get some shorts done in here over the next couple of games through the World Cup, and some just some thoughts that we have going forward. Until then, for Adelia, for our resident Brazilian Daney, for our resident Southern Californian Valley guy, Matt Munoz. I'm the Snark. Thank you for watching LGR Network, the highlights, and starting 11, guys.
Starting 11.